Good evening, and you're watching ET Now with me, Vinni Motiwala. And today we have very exciting news coming in, especially in the D2C space, online space. We all know Good Glamm. Now, Good Glamm is a D2C company that has actually acquired 51% stake in Tweak India. Tweak India is a digital brand that delivers content focused on multiple aspects of women and also posts content related to wellness, beauty, skincare. Any questions you have and any doubts you have, that gets solved over there. Let's bring on board our guest for today. We have Priyanka Gill, who is joining with us from Good Glamm, as well as we have Twinkle Khanna from Tweak India, the founder of Tweak India, joining with us as well. Good evening to both you ladies as well. Thank you so much for joining with us on ET Now.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So, firstly, Twinkle, I'm going to start with you. I just want to understand in terms of, how did you actually come up with the idea of Tweak India? The important features that actually address that you address on the platform. What is it that you could tell us a bit more about Tweak India firstly?
I think once I started writing, this is about, I would say, 10, 11 years ago, I had a lot of women reaching out to me, talking to me about things because I was writing about issues that were relevant to all women across boundaries. And then I got offers to do a TV show like Oprah. And I thought to myself that do I want to peer out at the camera through false eyelashes and suck in my stomach every morning? Or do I want to turn up to work in a messy ponytail? And I think the messy ponytail won. So I decided to do Tweak where I could still talk to women, hear, their stories and sort of eat as many banana chips as I wanted and grow nice and round and not have to worry so much about the camera. That was really the idea behind Tweak. Having said that, it took a year to kind of finalize this plan. I took it to 20 people in the media business to vet it and see if this was a financially viable business plan. And once they gave me a couple of pointers, that's when Tweak started. Tweak is basically a platform that talks about relevant matters, but it does not have any jargon. It doesn't talk to you in sermons. It makes you laugh along the way. And that is really our voice. We want to talk to women about everything, finance, sex, relationships, but in a way that's completely approachable.
Absolutely, it does seem quite approachable as well when I saw the platform as well. It's very friendly as well, but Twinkle, I want to understand one more thing. So now, why the move and what is your strategy in terms of, coming and, joining hands with Good Glamm, the Glamm Group? What is your strategy there then?
I think I know that I have the ability to build a business to a certain level. And this is a scalable business. And then when I thought about taking the next leap, I looked at Good Glamm, I looked at what Darpan and Priyanka had done, not only as the group completely, but even with the individual acquisitions they had, acquired. And I felt that this was a great platform for me to take the next leap. I also feel that we have a lot of synergy in terms of we can cross-pollinate each other's platforms. They've got multiple verticals that would help strengthen Tweak. And for them, perhaps Tweak is also speaking to a certain audience that they would get more access to as well. So this was my sort of ideology behind tying up with the Good Glamm Group. And again, it took a year and a half and we had lots of phone calls. Luckily, we all wake up very, very early. So 6:30 a.m. was the peak time for us to sit and discuss all the possibilities of this partnership. And so here we are today.
Absolutely, and it's an interesting one. And Priyanka, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, Twinkle was also mentioning your, acquisitions that you have had at Good Glamm. Quite interesting in terms of, especially for good media, the platforms that you have, PopX, so Scoop, Baby Chakra, Miss Malini Entertainment. Each of these platforms actually have a very unique audience as well when you look at it. How do you now see Tweak India actually adding to your portfolio? What is the value addition? What was a Good Glamm strategy behind this now?
So absolutely, like you rightly mentioned at the Good Glamm Group, and especially within the Good Media Co., we've tried to acquire and aggregate platforms that have different voices and that talk to different audiences. So when we looked within our existing portfolio, we had PopXO that speaks to that young 18 to 25-year-old woman, right? And the gap or the white space that we saw was we wanted someone who could, with great authority, speak to the older, more mature, and more aspirational woman as well. And Tweak India, the platform that Twinkle has built, is literally best in class in India. They have a very assured voice, they have a very strong point of view, and it is something that really resonates with that demographic, that tier one demographic. So it fit perfectly within kind of the jigsaw of audience pools that we built across platforms in the Good Media Co. and for the Good Glamm Group. And we couldn't be more delighted to be partnering and working with them to help all of us scale and grow further.
Absolutely. I just want to understand one thing, from both of y'all could just answer this for me. As a user now of Good Glamm or Tweak India, both of them, combining and joining hands together, what can we expect from both the platforms going forward? Tweak India, how do we see that changing now since y'all have joined hands? And for Good Glamm also, how does this actually shape up now?
Priyanka, you want to go ahead and then I'll chip
No,
in.
absolutely. So, we love what Tweak is, right? And I think they're doing a lot of things incredibly right. So the first principle is that we like them to continue doing exactly what they're doing in any way that we can supplement, help them scale and grow at a much faster pace. That's what the resources of the Good Glamm Group are here for. There are certain things that we've recognized over time. And for example, video, we know really well. I think that's one space where we can add a lot of value for Tweak India. You're looking at different languages that Tweak might get into. Hindi, for example, I think we've had a lot of success with PopXO Hindi and Scoop Up Hindi. And again, that would be a lever that we'd like to help move for Tweak India as well. But yeah, the first principle is all our digital media platforms are independent and they'll continue to be. And wherever we can find synergy and ecosystem benefits across the group, we'll keep adding them to help all of us grow and scale.
Like Priyanka said, Tweak is fairly autonomous in that way, and it will continue to stay like that. So I don't think you'll see great shifts in where we will be in a year from now in terms of content. We'll be delivering content in the same way that we have been. We are looking definitely at the Good Glamm Group for support in helping us with the back end, with tech support, with penetration into different languages like Hindi. And we are also looking at building out our video vertical substantially, because what we've noticed just with our singular property, the icons, we've got 21 million organic views. Now, with Good Glamm's sort of marketing abilities and their expertise, we are hoping to be able to really, increase those numbers exponentially. So I think that this is a partnership where both parties have bits and pieces that can just come together and really make a cohesive, very strong enterprise.
Absolutely. And, Priyanka, I just want to understand in terms of just in general terms, have you started seeing, in terms of just the startup space, the funding from venture capitalist space actually drying up? Is that a concern that is coming in? Or, and in what stage of startup funding is actually happening as of now?
See, honestly, look, it's a reality that the startup funding has slowed down, right? And we've been seeing that for the past year. And I think we'll keep seeing that going forwards as well. But in this environment, I think well-capitalized companies and companies that are actually on a path to profitability are really going to prosper. There are some interesting opportunities that will come everyone's way in terms of consolidation and in other ways. I think it's a time for startups to be frugal. It's a time for startups to focus on the right metrics, especially go towards profitability and build in a scalable fashion, right? Because the funding is going to be where it is. Although India as an economy is doing well, consumer spending is on the up. We've had some of our best kind of quarters recently that has just gone by. So I think it's a great time to be building a scalable, profitable business.
And also, what's your just view coming in just terms of the generative AI space? Is that the next big thing you actually see coming in the Indian market?
I think, there's fantastic leaps that technology has made that allows for artificial intelligence to help the normal man or woman create amazing things online, right? And I think it's a transformative leap that technology is taking for us right now. And the applications of this are only going to astound us even further. I think what Chat AI and Open have been doing, it's amazing, and extremely excited about that. How we can look at content being auto-generated by technology. I mean, I don't know about that, but I think it's something that we're watching very closely, and we can't wait to explore the applications of this innovation that we're seeing.
Absolutely. Twinkle, I'm just going to come to you because, you are an author, a columnist, a founder of a company, you're an entrepreneur, you're a mother, you're a homemaker. You know, so many tasks that women have to actually face in a day-to-day life. You know, just after you have had so much success coming in there, how have you actually managed, and what would be your advice to women in terms of, you know, managing their work-life balance? What is that one thing you would say?
I find it very peculiar that always women are asked about this work-life balance and men rarely are asked about it. But having said that, it is a fact. No matter how progressive we feel, most of us are still managing work and a home life balance. But I think that I'm somebody who does juggle a lot of things. It's really not about keeping all the balls up in the air. My task is to make sure that all the balls I drop, I pick them up as fast as I can. And I think that is pretty much my agenda. It's about focusing at that task that I have right now at this very moment. So if I'm sitting here doing this interview, I'm 100% here. And 2 minutes before this, I was cleaning up my kid's mess from behind here so that, you know, you have a clean frame. So I think that it's about doing what you have to do to the best of your ability. I don't think there's a perfect entrepreneur. There isn't a perfect mother. We are just an amalgamation of all these imperfect things, and we do our best, and that's all we can really do.
Absolutely. And Priyanka, you also have more than a decade of experience, I believe, also as an entrepreneur. You have done a lot of great work. What is your advice to an entrepreneur, or upcoming startup, or, you know, someone, a woman-led startup? What would you be giving them as an advice then?
I would just say, listen, just go on and just do what you want and do it to the best of your ability. Life is short, and it's too short for regrets, right? So don't impose limitations on yourself, and don't allow anyone to impose limitations on you. And as long as you decide to do something and you keep doing it and you don't stop, at some point, success is definitely going to come your way. So I like this kind of attitude of relentless attempt to go forward. And I think women should be doing it as much, if not more so, than men are today.
And Twinkle,
I
one
agree with
last...
her. I mean, when we talk about equality, I think being financially independent is primary because, you know, if you are not financially independent, then I've always said this, you have to toe the line drawn by the hand that signs the checks. So you better be the one signing the checks so that you are toeing your own line. And I think that, I mean, I've been working since I was 17, and I saw my mother working, and I feel that being financially independent is actually paramount to equality. There is really no equality without that.
And Twinkle, then on that note, you know, what is Twinkle as a financial investor? Do you like manage all your investments also coming, and are you up to date with everything then?
Considering that I was trying to give my CA entrance exam, yes, it would be really, it would be really sad if I didn't. Yeah, I guess I would like to be I would like to take more risks. I constantly invest in long-term debt. And I think that I should start taking some more risks. And I hope that the Glamm Group helps me in that way as well, because they like taking risks and I'm very risk averse. So this is a partnership that will probably pay out in that manner.
Absolutely. There's a risk-reward relationship between both of you as well, then Glamm as well as Tweak India then. Thank you so much, Twinkle, as well as Priyanka, for joining in with us on ET Now today. Thank you so much.